In this next lecture, Lecture 6, I'll be explaining and demonstrating a few of the acceleration drills that I use with my kids to teach them how to properly accelerate so that it becomes natural as they continue to do it. This first drill I like to call arm swing commands. So you're going to have your athletes have their dominant foot forward, they're going to have their body in a nice angle, and their arms are going to be prepared to run or accelerate. What you're going to do then is call out a specific number up to 4, and you're going to allow your athletes to drive their arms to that number. Once they get to that number, then they pause and wait for the next command. For example, 2, they drive their arms 2. 3, they drive their arms 3. What you're looking for in this is, although it's a quick movement, you still want your athletes to make sure they're getting full rotation in their arms. The next drill is called sprint wall commands. Now it is similar to the arm swing commands, but this takes place in your legs. So it's the same idea. You're going to have your athletes start with one knee forward. You give them a number, and then they're going to drive their knee up and then back to the track as powerfully as they can. You're looking for a nice angle. You're looking for a dorsiflex toe. And you're looking for them to get their foot back under their hips aggressively, powerfully, etc. For the acceleration wall drill, you're pretty much going to set a time between 5 and 7 seconds for your athlete, and they're just going to drive their knees up and then drive the foot back to the track as many times as possible, as quick as they possibly can, for 5 to 7 seconds. You're still looking for the dorsiflex toe, driving the knee up, getting the feet back under the hips, and a nice angle. Acceleration bounds is the next drill. I usually have my kids do this out of a 3-point stance, and they're just going through a bounding motion, but they are going through the acceleration phase while bounding. This drill is to teach them how to separate their arms, pop their knee forward, keep their toe dorsiflexed, and those things that come along with acceleration. Now typically with this drill, I'll have the kids that are less experienced begin with just the first step, and then as they get better, we progress from there. Because acceleration deals a lot with reaction time, this next drill helps focus on that. So this drill is called quick rise and go. What you're going to do here, you're going to call out a command of quick. The athlete's going to chatter their feet. You say rise, they raise their arms, and when you yell go, they accelerate out of that position. Same idea, using everything that you're looking for in the acceleration phase. Falling starts. You're going to have your athlete lean forward as if they're going to fall on the ground, and when they get to the perfect angle, they're going to accelerate off the line as hard as they can. Two-point starts or two-point accelerations are probably my most favorite type of acceleration to teach. The reason being, if you think about the duration of a year, your athletes are going to have to start in this position a lot, whether it's for intervals, whether it's for acceleration, speed days, etc. They're going to have to be able to do this motion. Now, having your athlete push off of their dominant foot aggressively time after time after time is very important. That's why I love this drill. You simply have them push off the foot that they're dominant with and have them accelerate using every step, every point that I've given you thus far. Also, as a word of advice, make sure that as your athletes are doing two-point stands, you're really looking at that back foot to make sure that they're not false stepping. For 3-point accelerations or 3-point starts, now your athlete is starting to get closer to the actual feeling that they would be in while they're coming out of blocks. They're going to have one hand behind them ready to accelerate, one hand on the ground, and then once they're ready to go, or you give them a command to go, they're going to go through all of the acceleration steps to accelerate properly to run as fast as they possibly can. Finally, 4-point accelerations or 4-point starts. Here, we are simply putting everything together. Once your athletes have accomplished all of the other drills and they've done them pretty well, then we can go to the 4-point start as we start to transition into block starts. Now with these drills, you can always choose which ones you want to keep, which ones you want to omit, but it's all up to what you're trying to teach your athletes. These are drills that I like to use. Sometimes I do all of them in one setting. Sometimes I break them up over a certain amount of days or a certain amount of weeks, but I work on them in their entirety. The whole key is to make your athletes accelerate better, and I believe that these drills will help you do so. In the next lecture, I'm going to talk about maximum velocity, which is the second part of all sprint races. So stay tuned.